Welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work. In the hustle of profit, product, and productivity, it's easy to neglect the how, our ethics, our conduct, and our internal state of being. But what if the secret to sustainable success wasn't found in the latest management trend, but in wisdom that's existed for thousands of years? The host of this podcast, Kimberly Killer, is here to explore the ancient concepts of Yamas and Niyamas as a powerful framework for modern leadership. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to help you apply proven lessons from the yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today. I'm your host and guide, Kimberly Kaler, and it is my great pleasure to share my insight on how to meld mindfulness into our work world, however you define work, as a teacher, a corporate executive, or a community volunteer. Today's topic is ethical leadership, why ancient wisdom matters today. So in the hustle of quarterly reports, KPI tracking, and endless Zoom calls, it's easy to lose sight of the human element in business. We often focus so intently on the what, the profit, the product, the productivity, that we neglect the how, our ethics, our conduct, and our internal state of being. But what if the secret to sustainable success wasn't found in the latest management trend, but in wisdom that's existed for thousands of years? The concepts of the Yamas and Niyamas offers a powerful framework for modern leadership. While their roots are ancient, their application is incredibly relevant to the boardrooms and open plan offices of today. It applies to our churches. It applies to our schools. It applies to the volunteer activities that you participate in. These guidelines provide a map for navigating the complexities of business with integrity, clarity, and compassion. Beyond the bottom line. Leadership is not just about strategy, it's about character. When we look at the businesses that truly thrive, the ones with loyal employees, trusted brands, active members and volunteers, and sustainable growth, we often find leaders who operate from a strong ethical core. The Yamas and Niyamas serve as a dual-pronged approach to ethical living. They aren't rigid rules meant to restrict us, but rather guardrails that keep us on the path of our highest potential. By integrating these principles into our professional lives, we move beyond transactional leadership into transformational leadership. We stop reacting to chaos and start responding with wisdom. So what are the yamas? The yamas are often translated as restraints. Think of them as the guidelines for how we interact with the external world. They govern our social ethics, how we treat our colleagues, our clients, and our competitors. In a business context, the yamas ask us to pause and consider the impact of our actions. They challenge us to look at ahimsa, nonviolence. This goes beyond physical harm. In the office, it means avoiding toxic gossip, aggressive negotiation tactics, or policies that lead to burnout. It's about fostering psychological safety. Satya, truthfulness. Are we transparent in our communications? Do we have the courage to give honest feedback even when it's uncomfortable? Satya demands integrity in every email and every meeting. Asteya, non-stealing. We might not steal office supplies, but do we steal credit for others' ideas? Do we steal time because we show up to meetings late or fail to delegate effectively? Brahmacharya, moderation. This is about managing our energy. Are we addicted to the busyness culture? Do we respect work-life boundaries or do we glorify overwork? Aprikahara, non-possessiveness. This yama warns against greed and hoarding. In business, it translates to fair resource distribution, not clinging to outdated processes, and letting go of the need to control every outcome. So those are the yamas. What are the niyamas? If the yamas are about the external world, the niyamas turn the gaze inward. They are the observances or duties directed toward ourselves. They focus on internal discipline and personal conduct. For a leader, the niyamas are the foundation of self-mastery. You cannot lead others effectively if you cannot lead yourself. The first one is satya, purity. This refers to cleanliness and organization. A cluttered environment often leads to a cluttered mind. It also speaks to purity of intention. Are our business motives clear and honest? Santosha, contentment. This is a tough one for ambitious leaders. It challenges us to find satisfaction in the present moment rather than always chasing the next milestone. It's about balancing ambition with gratitude. Tapas, self-discipline. This is the heat or friction that creates change. It's the grit required to push through difficult projects, the discipline to stick to a strategic plan, and the resilience to weather market downturns. Svatihaya, self-study. Great learners are learners. Svatya encourages introspection, reading, mentorship, and a commitment to continuous improvement. It asks, who am I and how can I be better? And finally, Ishvara Pranihana, surrender. We must acknowledge we cannot control everything. Surrender in business isn't just giving up. It's trusting the process, accepting market realities, and recognizing that we are part of a larger ecosystem. So why does this matter for modern business? And again, I'm defining business in the work that we do. You might wonder how ancient philosophy fits into a conversation related to your balance sheet or supply chain logistics or the members at your religious institution. The connection is direct. Culture eats strategy for breakfast, and ethics eat culture for lunch. When leaders ignore these principles, we see the headlines that have become all too common: fraud, scandals, toxic workplace cultures, and executive burnout. Conversely, organizations that embrace these values tend to see higher employee retention, stronger brand loyalty, and more innovation problem solving. The cost of ignoring ethics. We've all worked in environments where truthfulness, satya, was absent. The result is confusion and mistrust. We have seen what happens when nonviolence, ahimsa, is ignored. Stress leaves skyrocket and productivity plummets. Ignoring the inner work, niyamas, is equally damaging. A leader without self-discipline, tapas, creates chaos. A leader without contentment, santosha, drives their team into the ground in pursuit of impossible goals. Applying the yamas and niyamas can create a ripple effect. When a leader practices transparency, the team feels safer to take risks. When a leader practices moderation, the team is less likely to burn out. When a leader practices self-study, they model a growth mindset for the entire organization. This approach builds resilience. It creates a business or the work that we do that is not just profitable and successful, but purposeful. It transforms the workplace from a site of extraction, taking energy from people, to a site of contribution, giving value to the world. So how do you take these first steps? Integrating these principles does not require a complete overhaul of your management style. It starts with awareness, and it starts with a pause. So before you send that next email, ask yourself, is this true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? When you feel overwhelmed, check in with yourself. Am I managing my energy well? Am I organized? The Yamas and Niyamas invite us to bring our whole selves to work, our conscious, our discipline, and our humanity. By doing so, we don't just become better leaders, we build better businesses. Next steps include just choosing one yama or niyama to focus on this week. Perhaps satya, truthfulness. Pay close attention to your communication. Are there small ways you withhold the truth or even exaggerate to make your point? Notice the impact of being radically honest. Observe how it changes your interactions with your own sense of integrity.
Thank you so much for listening to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to meld mindfulness into the work we do. We invite you to subscribe as well as visit wisdomfortheworkwedo.com for additional resources. Until next time, we invite you to consider how you can apply the wisdom yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today, with integrity, clarity, and compassion.